Wife!
Do you remember what happened yesterday and where the hell we are today?
Well, yesterday we read Ezekiel chapter 47.
Sure as fuck did.
And in that chapter, there was some water flowing through Jerusalem and like out of Jerusalem. And then it like made things alive-ish, I guess. And I think it was supposed to make it seem like
Eden.
Yeah. But he already gave the better land to the Egyptians a while back.
Right.
And according to Ezekiel,
according to God, according to Ezekiel.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And moreover, I mean, the way it was being described, it just sounds like he's flooding shit and then there's things growing around it and
it's like,
whatever. So
it's like the Fertile Crescent, but with a water park.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it sounded like. So I don't know. There was a lot of other stuff, but that was the biggest thing, I think. So
Enemy at the gates.
And yeah. The
gates.
Enemy at the gates, right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that was Ezekiel chapter 47, which means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel chapter 48.
All right. Oh,
what?
There's something important about today.
What is important?
Well, the fact that we're ending Ezekiel.
I was going to say that in the meat.
Oh, well, I fucked it up, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You fucking stole my stuff.
So go ahead now.
No, too late.
Okay. Well, it's the end of Ezekiel, guys.
There is no Dana, only Zool. All right, we are back jumping into the very last chapter of Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 48.
Yes.
Or as I affectionately call him for the last time, Ezekiel.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this.
We do have some specials coming up. But as far as an actual chapter.
As far as the chapters, yeah. Totally.
I'm excited. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm excited about the chapter, but I'm definitely excited to get to the end of it.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. And like when we get to the end of this episode, you're going to ask me like, oh, and tomorrow we'll be doing blah, blah, blah. And we forgot to like look at the schedule to verify. So we'll just have to guess.
Right. Well, I mean, today, this will be going out on Wednesday. That means we have Thursday and Friday. So
that's actually perfect.
It works out pretty well. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
What good math we are.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to read now.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Once again, chapters 40 through 48 are the final chapters of Ezekiel or Ezekiel. Sorry, I meant to say Ezekiel.
Yeah.
And they are known collectively as the Torah of Ezekiel because it is.
Right.
The Torah.
Definitely fucking is.
Yeah. It's so Leviticus.
It is.
It's very Levitical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Levitical. As somebody pointed out. Was that you?
I think I used that the other day, yeah.
Yeah, Levitical.
Yeah. I thought that was clever.
That was so fucking clever. Obviously, it stayed with me.
Right.
All right. So, having said that, we are still in that magical waters and all those fucking gates. Yeah. That was the last section that we read yesterday.
Does this one start off with then?
No. It's a continuation.
I've been waiting for the then, and we haven't had a then since I started waiting for it again.
I know.
Bullshit.
I apologize. I can only do what I can do. And no, it starts out with these.
Oh, well, I mean,
so normally I would go then.
Right.
But nope. These are the tribes listed by name. Okay.
Wait, are these the 12 tribes, I wonder?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm about to call them out. Ready?
Yeah. And some of these haven't existed in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm,
Curious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the northern frontier, Dan will have one portion.
Dan the man. I love Dan.
It will follow the Hethlon road to Lebo Hamath. Hazaranan and the northern border of Damascus next to Hamath will be part of its border from the east side to the west side.
Okay.
Asher will have one portion. It will border the territory of Dan from east to west.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And we have to do this,
we're going to do this
10 more times.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Naphtali. I forgot that name, and I fucking love that name. It's just so cool to me.
I forgot. I mean, these really have not been relevant for a long time.
Yeah.
In the Bible.
Right? We'll have one portion. It will border the territory of Asher from east to west.
One portion? Mm-hmm. What does a portion mean? Is this their allotment of land? Like they get one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when somebody puts a thing of mashed potatoes, a dollop, if you will, of mashed potatoes on your plate.
So when he gives Judah like 5 portions, does that like show how much he loves Judah better than, say, Dan or something like that?
Either that or he's trying to give him diabetes. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
I just wondered. I didn't know if this was like a favoritism thing or something.
Kill your darlings. That's
what?
a thing. You've
I don't
never
know
heard
what you're
that
talking
phrase?
about. Yeah.
Kill your darlings? You've never heard that phrase?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's a writer term,
Okay.
but it's very well known. And
In the writer world?
And generally like outside of it as well.
Okay.
And it's just one of those things. And like don't fall too in love with your own creation that you can't axe a chapter if you need to or axe a character.
Yeah.
So you were talking about maybe killing off. And so I was like, kill your darlings.
Got it.
Way off topic. Continuing on, Manasseh, or as I like to say, Manasseh, will have one portion. It will border the territory of Naphtali from east to west. Ephraim will have one portion. It will border the territory of Manasseh from east to west. Reuben will have one portion. It will border the territory of Ephraim from east to west.
Okay.
Judah will have one portion.
So everybody gets one portion.
They could have just said, here's the tribes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and each of them gets one portion.
But they do love extraneous information in the Bible.
Repetitive extraneous information at that.
It wouldn't be the Bible if it was just succinct and to the point. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't be, I'd be like, what's going on here? What happened? That's not how they write this stuff.
No.
So they've got to make it, go on and on and on.
Yeah. They do, and it does. Mm-hmm. Judah will have one portion. It will border the territory of Reuben, the sandwich, from east to west. I love me a good Reuben.
I don't. I'm not a big fan of rye bread.
Let me rephrase that. I like a good Reuben, except not on rye, which many people have told me makes it not a Reuben.
Right.
But I just still like it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't like rye bread.
I've had maybe a couple of good Reubens in all of my life.
Right.
And that's what, like, there are some rye breads that are okay. I can deal with them. But it's few and far between that I like.
What is that kind of seed that's on it?
I have no idea.
It's not sesame seeds. Oh, I can't think what it is. But whatever those, it's a thing.
Okay.
Whatever those seeds are, I fucking hate them. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll look it up later and not get back to you.
Right.
But I will know the answer.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, bordering the territory of Judah from east to west will be the portion you are to present as a special gift. Okay.
Okay.
Pretty. It will be 25,000 cubits wide. Maybe rods.
This is the temple portion that they were talking about earlier, right?
I think so.
Okay.
And its length from east to west will equal one of the tribal portions.
Okay.
The sanctuary will be in the center of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The special portion you are to offer to the Lord will be 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 cubits wide. Now, as we spoke about in previous chapters, some interpretations use rods instead of cubits.
To measure the temple. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And they're talking about those measurements here.
Right.
In cubits, but I'm just letting it be known but it might be rods.
Right.
Which would make it larger and kind of redonkulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not meshing with reality larger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This will be the sacred portion for the priesties. It will be 25,000 cubits long on the north side, 10,000 cubits wide on the west side, 10,000 cubits wide on the east side, and 25,000 cubits long on the south side.
Okay.
Did you get all that?
Sure.
Can I test you on it?
Nope.
No, I didn't retain any of that.
No.
In the center of it will be the sanctuary of the Lord, his little room, his closet. Get in there, ya God. Ya God, ya.
Well, it keeps him from, murdering his neighbors, apparently.
I know. They got to lock him up.
It's a good place for him to be, I guess.
Mm-hmm. This will be for the consecrated priesties, the Zadokites, who were faithful in serving me and did not go astray as the Levites did.
And it just so happens
when
that
the Israelites went astray.
And it just so happens that Ezekiel is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did not. They did not go astray as the Levites did when the Israelites went astray. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. It will be a special gift to them from the sacred portion of the land, a most holy portion bordering the territory of the Levites.
I do find it very,
convenient.
Yeah, convenient that Ezekiel is a Zadokite.
Yeah.
And then the Zadokites are the favored people. And it just so happens that one of those Zadokites is who God is talking to.
Right. And as opposed to Levitical stuff,
right.
Suddenly the Levites get their own special land, and they did not in the Torah.
They had land apportioned to them, sort of. It was usually outside of the confines of a city.
Right, but it was hosted by each of the tribes.
Right.
The tribes were required to make room for them on their land.
Yeah, this is more like a compound where they're assigned land.
Yeah, these guys get their own fucking land. Right. They don't have to be Bedouin-like and travel about.
Yeah.
They get to stay put.
Right.
And that is not how that was supposed to be. So
it was definitely different for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it changes the specialness of these guys being in town. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it takes away from, like, you know, I had imagined that part of the reason the Levites were apportioned to different tribes in different areas as opposed to having this one area where they were all at was because they probably were priestly-like actors in those communities to, you know, help foster that religion in those areas, right?
They were locals able to know what words to use with the locals.
Right.
Kind of like how if you go into a Walmart in one state, they might carry stuff that another Walmart doesn't carry in a different state.
Sure.
Because you cater to your local audience.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Alongside the territory of the priesties, the Levites will have an allotment of 25,000 cubits long and 10,000 cubits wide. Its total length will be 25,000 cubits, and its width will be 10,000 cubits.
Okay.
Wadi.
Yeah.
They must not sell or exchange any of it. You got it? You got to keep that shit.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
But so we're also talking about a tribe here, right? The Levites are essentially a tribe.
Yes.
So again, you know, we were talking about this in the last chapter, I believe, and that's that, you know, people have sex and eventually exponentially that population grows.
Yeah.
And if the Levites are a tribe, this is only a short-term fix to
you will outgrow the boundaries of your territory.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you know, there's always fears that the human population will outgrow the territory of planet Earth.
Right.
Like it gets larger and larger as you go, and
I think eventually that problem would solve itself, but
it would.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already starting to eat the rich and eat each other, and
sure.
I mean, I know I eat a couple babies every morning after I salt them. This is the best of the land and must not pass into other hands. See, right there. The Levites get the best land. Yeah,
and just to be clear, we don't eat babies.
Oh, no.
I just wanted to make sure I stated that, like, as a matter of fact.
As a matter of fact.
So.
Yeah, we don't eat babies.
Right.
I would like to think that's a given, but no, you're right. We should specify context, etc.
Right.
Yeah, because we are atheists, and that could come back to bite us in the ass. These people eat babies.
Or at least it bites a baby in the ass.
I just did a spit take. Yeah, we don't eat babies. That's grody. Yeah. Because it is holy to the Lord. That's why.
Oh, okay.
That's why the Levites get their own land now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And they didn't before. Before it wasn't holy to the Lord or whatever.
It was different, definitely. They had places to live. It just was in whatever.
Yeah.
It was different.
It didn't belong to them.
It was different.
It was more tenty and less
This
city.
doesn't technically belong to them. Technically, I think it belongs to God, right?
It does. But the other lands early on belonged to God too.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
The remaining area, 5,000 cubits wide and 25,000 cubits long, will be for the common use of the city, for houses, and for pasture land. The city will be in the center of it and will have these measurements. Are you excited?
No.
We are finishing this whole book off with a grand slam. It is such a nice conclusion.
Yeah, this is definitely a New York Times bestseller.
Snoozeville.
Actually, the Bible is, I think.
It is.
Generally speaking.
It is. But. Yeah. Right up there with Trump's the art of the deal. Yeah.
Is that really one of the probably these days it might be.
But. Yeah, these days it might be, but no.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not.
But I would say that this is probably one of the least read New York Times bestsellers ever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, most people just buy it and put it on their fucking shelf.
Right. Yeah.
The north side. We're talking about the fucking city now, okay?
Sure.
The north side, 45,000 cubits. The south side, I said 1,000. I'm so sorry. I meant 4,500.
Okay. Yeah.
The north, that's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
This is why I don't math.
Right.
The north side, 4,500 cubits. The south side, 4,500 cubits. The east side.
4,500?
Yep. And the west side.
Same.
We're doing a square.
We do the same, yeah.
We're doing a square. The pasture land for the city will be, here, we're going to make another square, okay?
Okay.
It'll be 250 cubits on the north, on the south, on the east, and on the west. I cut that sentence short. I cut out the extraneous data.
That sounds like it must be right in the center of the city, the way they're describing that.
Yeah.
So, that sure, okay.
It's the pasture land for the city.
That doesn't seem like that much land for pasture. 200. So it's your elbow to your tip of your middle finger. 250 of those feels like about maybe. Well, I guess that would be about 3 to 4 football fields, maybe.
I can't picture any of that.
I'd have to measure. I'd have to think that further through. That might not be correct actually. Because I would say a cubit's closer. It's about 1.5 feet, and there's 100 yards in a football field.
Oh my God!
I know. I'm doing math on live on the podcast. It's just it's not good. But I mean that would be. I don't know.
I cannot hold all of those things.
It's not a ton of land. I'm just going to say that. Okay.
Look, if I had a piece of paper and a pencil, I could write all this down and I could figure that shit out.
Right.
But to put in my head, I cannot retain one while I'm moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Which is also why I cannot play chess. I have no ability to retain images.
I would say that it's slightly bigger than a football field cubed.
Oh my God. You were just inside your mind palace.
I was.
I was looking at you and I was talking to you and you were staring beyond me because you were in your mind palace blowing me off.
Doing math. In my head. Yeah.
Okay. You're kind of hot. What remains of the area bordering on the sacred portion and running the length of it, I'm having a very hard time.
Right. You should find your mind palace.
Mine done got renovated.
Is yours more like a mind shack?
Yes.
Like a mind
cardboard box.
There you go. Yeah.
A mind. No, that's all I got.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I ran out of things. Normally, I'm pretty good on the fly, but not that time. I have a mind pocket. That's what I have.
You have a mind pocket?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It has pockets.
A mind satchel.
No, pockets.
No, I like the word satchel though.
But I like when Gollum says pockets is.
Yes, I do like that.
See?
Yeah. That's good.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
What does it have in its pockets is? Okay. Blah blah blah. Bordering on the sacred portion and running the length of it will be 10,000 cubits on the east side and 10,000 cubits on the west side. Its produce will supply food for the workers of the city. That's cool.
And that's in line with what they were teaching back in the Levitical stuff. So that was because they would the stuff that dropped was for the poor and all that kind of stuff. Which I liked that stuff at the time.
I still like that stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, take care of each other.
Right. Yeah. I think that makes complete sense.
The workers from the city who farm it will come from all the tribes of Israel. The entire portion will be a square, 25,000 cubits on each side. I didn't summarize that. They summarized that this time.
All right.
They didn't be side 1, 25.
Right.
Side 2,
They just
25.
said all of it on each side.
They're it's a square. It's a fucking square, and each of them is 25,000.
Right. Get over yourself, readers. We're not going to repeat it 4 times.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As a special gift, you will set aside the sacred portion along with the property of the city.
Okay. Sure.
Because
we're apportioning the portions, and here's the portions.
Yep.
So
that's exactly what's happening.
Right.
What remains on both sides of the area farmed by the sacred portion and the property of the city will belong to the prince.
If you picked the apples and the fruits that were in the sacred portion that held that stuff, are you a sacred portion picker?
Oh.
I like that. I like that title. I think that would be a good title. What do you do for a job? I'm a sacred portion picker. Yeah. That's what I do.
How much pickering? Peter Piper picked a woodchuck chuck. What?
I'm looking at you. I'm like, where are you going with this? Because there's nowhere to go. But you're gonna try. I can see it in your eyes.
I know.
And I'm like, there's nothing here.
She sells seashells down by the seashore.
Yeah. And now we moved on to tongue twisters. So
I know. Oh, okay. But my favorite one. Ready?
Your favorite. Okay.
This is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Okay. Betty Baker bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in the batter, it will make the batter bitter. So she bought some better butter that was not so bitter. Thus, she made the batter better. and I missed a line.
Did you? Okay.
I did.
All right.
God damn it! But still, that was pretty good, though, right?
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than I could do.
It's been a while since I've said it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be practicing it tonight.
No, that was pretty excellent.
Yeah.
As far as tongue twisters go,
Yeah. Then she put it in the batter. Thus, she made the batter better.
Oh,
there. Okay.
Yeah.
There.
It was bothering you. I could see
I was in my mind pockets. We
weren't going to be moving along until you pulled that one out of your ass pocket.
My mind pocket. My ass. It will extend eastward, whatever it is. I lost the thread from the 29,000 cubits of the sacred portion. We are such a mess tonight.
Yeah, it's,
we're just like...
I think we're just giddy to get out of this book.
Yeah, we're like, I read it.
Yeah, no.
I checked that box.
And how do we be giddy about getting out of a book quicker? We take longer to read it. That's generally how it goes with us, I think.
You know what?
Because we're just like, fuck this shit. We aren't going to actually read it. We're just going to make fun of this shit.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing.
Because there's literally nothing in this that is in any way relevant to God.
No.
Or like the arguments for or against God. This is just some bullshitty measurements.
This is not about the afterlife. This is not about morals for being a good person and living a decent, virtued life.
There's literally nothing much here to comment on.
No.
So...
But don't you mind.
But you and I, we have to have fun with it, or we just,
we will pull it out every time.
We got to. We do this every fucking night.
I know. As I always say when we're in the middle of the boring.
Yeah.
The point of this is to be able to say that we have read every word.
For us.
For us.
Not necessarily all of our listeners.
Oh, yeah, no. You do whatever your purpose is. I'm not dictating to you what your purpose is. I'm saying for me and husband... Our purpose in this is to be able to say we have read the entire Bible. Therefore, we have to even read the boringest bits. But we don't have to be bored while we're doing it.
Right.
So,
speaking of which, I should say this real quick, too.
Oh, yes.
We are doing a live Discord tonight.
Oh, we are.
So we're live on Discord. And actually, I think probably the majority of people that are listening tonight aren't completely caught up to where we are.
Right. That's true.
So don't feel like you have to be caught up to join us on the lives, because
we've never said that, I think.
Maybe we might have, but it's been a while if we did.
Yeah,
but yeah, just join us because it's fun. We have a blast, and you don't have to listen to it straight through. You could just
hop in for the night just to hang.
And then if you need to, just for completionist purposes, you can go back and re-listen to that episode later.
I mean, if you really want to.
Yeah. Besides, by the time we get done talking about all the other crap that we talk about on the sidebars, like before and after and in the middle of the podcast, you're going to forget what we were talking about in the podcast anyway.
That is a fact. I don't care how big your mind palace is.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
all
pocket.
right. Yeah. It's pockets.
Yeah, pockets.
My precious was in that pockets.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure you knew.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It will extend eastward from the 25,000 cubits of the sacred portion to the eastern border, and westward from the 25,000 cubits to the western border. Both these areas running the length of the tribal portions will belong to the prince, and the sacred portion with a temple sanctuary will be in the center of them. You called that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the property of the Levites and the property of the city will lie in the center of the area that belongs to the prince. Which, as we've stated before, Ezekiel likes to use the words prince and king interchangeably. I think it's more just like a title, like he's like blah, 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 royalty leader guy.
Yeah.
Is my impression. The area belonging to the prince, king, leader guy, will lie between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin. Pop quiz, do you remember where those are? Absolutely fucking not.
I thought they were in like the south of Israel.
Sure they were.
If I'm recalling correctly, I thought they were the southern kingdom.
I literally was not remembering as I was reading it.
Because actually that is true. That is right, because they often refer to the lost tribes as the northern kingdoms.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
I remember that specifically.
No, you are right about
I'm
that.
I'm almost certain they were in the south. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Anyway, as for the rest of the tribes, Benjamin will have one portion. It will extend from the east side to the west side. Simon will have one portion.
We didn't finish with the portions?
No, we didn't say all 12.
Split them up in the middle, and now we're going back to portions.
We were like tribe. Oh, but now prince.
Here's the city and the prince and the temple and the...
I wonder if they were like doing this geographically, like either doing a full circle or going like top to bottom.
That doesn't make sense either, though.
Why?
Because why would you stop in the middle of listing off the tribes to then list off the temple that's between Judah and Benjamin?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Maybe they were going from south to north, and they were like these guys, these guys, these guys.
Okay.
And then the middle, and then now we're in the north.
I suppose that could be.
I mean, that's the way I would imagine it. But no, that's a good question.
You could be right, though.
So Simon will have a portion, just so you know.
One.
It will. It will border the territory of Benjamin from east to west.
Okay.
I would have to see these on a fucking map.
Yeah.
Issachar will have one portion. I forgot that was even one of the tribes. Issachar. It will border the territory of Simon from east to west. Everything's east to west.
It is.
East was like because of the sun, and people worshipped the sun, and they called him Ra, and that's very exciting.
That's Egypt.
Yeah,
generally.
Which a lot of the Jews were in Egypt, and in Babylon, they were accused of worshiping the sun.
Right, but it's not specifically just Ra. That was like sun worship is not just centered on Ra. There are other gods and other ideas that these things permeated.
But he was
that came from.
But he was the big sun daddy
in Egypt, yeah,
and in Babylon.
Oh, okay, well, he was the god in Babylon.
He was one of the big sun gods in Babylon, and I'm saying that because it specifically said that those idolaters were facing the sun and worshiping the sun at the temple, and that's what pissed God off. He was like, "How dare you, motherfuckers! I will tear you one."
Okay.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Well, I don't know why you think that Ra. I'm looking it up because I don't think that's. I don't know that that's for sure real or true.
Well, I'm going to continue reading while you tippy tappy tap type.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zebulon. Oh, I love that name. Will have one portion. It will border the territory of Issachar from east to west. Gad will have one portion. It will border the territory of Zebulon from east to west. Yes?
Yes, so they didn't worship Ra at all.
Oh.
It was Marduk was their god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Okay, you don't have to look like you crazy lunatic.
No,
I was confidently mistaken.
You were, and now everybody has a bingo board picks if they're following along.
Yeah.
So.
Another reason to head over to our Discord every Tuesday at 10 p.m.
You can play bingo, Sacrilegious Discourse bingo.
Yeah, and I am always giving up squares left and right because I suck so much. All right, so Gad will have a portion. It will border the territory of Zebulon from east to west. Mm-hmm. The southern boundary of Gad will run south from Tamar to the waters of Meribah Kadesh.
Okay.
Then along the Wadi of Egypt to the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, Wadi is running water, which is generally the river. And when they say Wadi of Egypt, it's generally believed that was referring to the Nile.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, the Wadi of Egypt, we're in Israel, aren't we?
No.
I'm pretty sure we're in Egypt.
But it's bordering the Wadi. It says then along the Wadi of Egypt to the Mediterranean Sea is the border.
Oh, okay. I don't think that is...
Isn't that the Nile?
Right, either.
Oh, my God.
No, I think it would be the Jordan River is what you're thinking of. So
I thought it was the Nile.
Again, I might be wrong, but the Nile is definitely in Egypt. It has nothing to do with
but borders
Israel.
Might have been different then.
No.
Nope. But I really thought the Wadi of Egypt was the Nile.
I don't think that's correct.
Wadi is spelled W-A-D-I. Just look it up. Was the Wadi of Egypt the Nile?
Why would it be why are we looking up the Wadi of Egypt when they live in Israel?
Because it literally says the southern boundary of Gad will run south from Tamar to the waters of Meribah Kadesh, then along the Wadi of Egypt to the Mediterranean Sea.
Oh, okay. No, then you might be right. I apologize.
Okay.
I was confidently wrong, apparently. Okay.
And would we call that bickering just then?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking right now to see if that's what, the Wadi of, no, it's not the Nile.
It's not the Nile?
No.
What is the Wadi of Egypt then?
I don't know.
I really thought it was the fucking Nile.
Yeah, I wondered because like the Nile runs kind of like it's in Egypt. It's not like it's
not near the Mediterranean.
It's not near Israel.
No, you're
really.
right.
So like that's why I was confused. I'm like, that can't be right. So I think we did some research on this back when we were looking into Wadi. Yeah. And Wadi is not really, it's more of a generic term.
Yeah, it's just another word for running water.
So I think that might be where we're going to leave that one.
Okay.
We don't know specifically what they're maybe referring to, I guess.
All right.
And if
fucking Wadis.
And if we do find out anything more, we can always cover that in the Q&A or the wrap up or whatever we're doing. So
Wadis, you can never tell them apart.
Yeah, Wadis they're Wadis.
They all look the same.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the land where you are to allot. Oh, let me try that again. This is the land you are to allot as an inheritance to the tribes of Israel. And these will be their portions, declares the sovereign Lord. Oh, all of a sudden we get a quote from the sovereign Lord.
Yeah.
I forgot he was talking this whole time.
Yeah, it's easy to do, yeah.
These will be the exits of the city. We get exits even. Okay. More of that population flow of traffic thing,
Yeah.
These will be the exits of the city, beginning on the north side, which is 4,500 cubits long. The gates of the city will be named after the tribes of Israel.
Oh, okay.
So they have 12 gates.
12, okay, I gotcha.
The 3 gates on the north side will be the gate of Reuben, the gate of Judah, and the gate of Levi. On the east side, which is 4,500 cubits long, will be 3 gates. The gate of Joseph, the gate of Benjamin, and the gate of Dan. On the south side, which measures 4,500, because remember it's a square, 4,500 cubits,
right,
will be 3 gates, as you do, because you divide 12 by 4 and you get 3, or 12 by 3 and you get 4.
Yes. Yes.
The gate of Simon, the gate of Issachar, and the gate of Zebulon.
Yeah.
On the west side, which is 4,500 cubits long, will be 3 gates: the gate of Gad, the gate of Asher, and the gate of Naphtali. The distance all around, that would be circumference, yes? Distance all around?
Yeah.
That's circumference.
Isn't circumference circles, though?
Is it?
I think it's circles. I could be wrong.
Oh, I thought it was like, oh my God. Why am I drawing blanks on everything tonight? Is it circumference only applied to a circle?
I believe that's correct.
So what do you call it?
Yes, it is it's circles.
Okay, so what do you call it when you're talking?
Perimeter?
Perimeter. Yeah. That's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't confidently wrong on that. I was just confused.
Yes.
All right. This has been your math lesson.
You're really testing me tonight. I'm having to stay on the ball here.
I appreciate your mad typey skills.
Well, I mean, I knew perimeter without having to type, and I knew circumference without having to. I thought that was circles, so I'm pretty sure I know these. It's just I gotta make sure because you sound very confident when you say it. So
I wasn't confident because I was like, no, circumference. That you're right. That does sound like circle, but. What is the word for it then?
Yeah.
What is that border word?
Right.
What do you have squares? A square is a line that's all twisted up.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, 180 degrees.
Okay.
On the west side, which is 4,500 cubits long, will be 3 gates. This is the last one.
Yeah.
The gate of Gad, the gate of Asher, and the gate of Naphtali. All right, I'm about to bring it home here.
Are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? The distance all around will be 18,000 cubits, and the name of the city from that time on will be, drum roll please, bum, bum, bum. Yeah. The Lord is there.
Wait.
The end.
The name of the city from there on will be The Lord is There?
There you go.
Okay.
There go your Lord.
Is that?
The end.
All right.
We talked about this fucking city for 8 goddamn chapters. And they wait till the very last sentence of the book to give us the name of this goddamn city that doesn't even. Okay, I'm sorry.
So they built this city.
They built this city. Yes, they did.
But they didn't build the city because this is just a
vision.
fever dream from fucking Ezekiel, right?
Yeah.
And
in canon, it's a vision. In real life, it's bullshittery nonsense.
Right. And they're going to be doing animal sacrifices there, which if you're a Christian, kind of negates the need to build this temple, right?
Yeah, because Jesus was the sacrifice, so
right.
we no longer
we no longer do sacrifices. So that whole thing kind of negates that need, kind of, and but we're even, according to the Lord, going to name it after the Lord, or whatever the Lord is there.
There he go.
Yeah, in all capitals even. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
There is all capitals.
No, I'm sorry. Lord is not.
Right, but
Lord is capitalized, but it's not all caps. But the Lord is there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how that reads.
Right. Interesting. I don't know what to say about this, because it's obviously not ever happened.
Right.
This has not occurred.
Right.
And there's things that indicate that we probably will never have this happen because of the changes in rituals since this has been talked about.
Right.
And yet
changes for Christians, not for Jews.
Now, to be fair, the Jewish people don't sacrifice animals anymore either, except for some very
right.
What
is that word where they're like hardcore old fashioned?
I
want to say
I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I don't know exactly, but
I want to say it starts with an O.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I probably don't.
Yeah.
Go on. Yes, I'm listening.
We're just going to skip what they're called because I can't remember it off the top of my head, and I don't want to speak ignorantly about it.
Hardcore, dedicated, old-fashioned Jewish people.
Yes.
Might still do sacrifices.
They try. I think there was a legal battle over it.
We were talking about that. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm excited when I know a thing.
Yes. So we read an article where there was a legal battle over a tribe. There was a group of people in Israel that were trying to reignite the idea of doing ritualistic sacrifice in the temple.
Yeah.
And it's not going so well for them.
Because a lot of people were like, no,
we're not going to slaughter animals in the fucking temple.
They were like, bro.
Even the Jewish people have been like, no, we don't need to do that shit.
Yeah, God's aight.
We're good, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They've moved on beyond that.
That's true. That is true.
And I just don't feel like this whole temple thing works very well for a modern society in which we're in right now.
Right.
And moreover, if you are Christian, it's completely irrelevant, pretty much.
Yeah. Because, again, Jesus is the sacrifice. But, although, spoilers, we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. But also, again, if we're going to think in the terms of Christianity, Ezekiel is a very important prophet for Christians.
Right.
So you would think it would be important, these bits that we're talking about at the end as well. But this is the part you never hear about when you're talking to Christians and about Ezekiel.
Right.
This is not part of the conversation because this is so Old Testament, it's not even funny.
Exactly.
And if we're talking about Old Testament stuff, which is what you and I suspect when we're reading Ezekiel, because that makes more sense in the whole Jewish context,
right?
Then a lot of these stories that Christians like to apply to this book make absolutely zero sense.
Right.
And you can make them fit if you want to, but you have to make them fit. And that's the problem that you run into with this book.
What I just realized is a lot of fun is when a Christian goes both ways, right? Always. But they will be like, we fucking love Noah's Ark, and there's an ark in Kentucky we're going to go visit, and we fucking love the story of Adam and Eve, and like they go through all the stories. But then like if you ask, so you really like that Old Testament, do you you cut your hair, I see, and you're wearing mixed threads, what's up with that? And then they're all of a sudden they cannot dissociate themselves, and that's Old Testament.
Right.
That's pre-Jesus.
Until you start talking about gay people.
Right. And then they love it again.
Right.
And I'm like, holy shit, do we love the Old Testament, or is it like, ugh, that's so not where Jesus was?
This is why it's a running joke that Christians cherry pick the Bible.
Right.
Because they can't get their messaging clear.
But I just never, having read the Bible until like these last 4 years, it never occurred to me that they will embrace the Old Testament one moment when it's convenient and then completely distance themselves from it when it goes anything against Jesus or whatever.
Sure.
And that's just, I think because we've been reading this and understanding that these are two separate religions, I just never applied the book that way.
Right. And I think that I have a lot more respect for, look, there are some Christians that are allies, right? That they are okay with the LGBTQIA community. They support women's rights. There are Christians that support these ideas and the right for people to have their own ideas outside of their religion.
Totally.
Right? Their religion is their religion. And generally, their religion is something personal to them. And it's also, they do take the whole Jesus story as their main focus, right? They're like, no, all of the stuff in the Old Testament is pretty much erased by the New Testament, more or less. Like, this is the history, but this is what we take as our religion,
our
from
gospel.
Here. And that's what that to me is what indicates someone who is more of a liberal Christian than a conservative Christian, because they rely much more heavily on the New Testament than on the Old Testament.
And the point of Jesus.
Yeah.
Which is love, kindness, forgiveness, turn the other cheek, that kind of stuff. Help the needy. Toss them fucking money tables, like all the stories that you kind of know.
I think that once we get to the New Testament, you're going to find out that maybe you're being a little generous to the whole story. Like, with regard, like, that's the story that I understand generically. Right?
No, yeah, that I'm right there with you. But I also know that, although we're not there yet, so I could be confidently wrong.
We definitely could.
I believe that he was also a fucking sarcastic little punk ass, and that he sometimes would just turn around and be like, "Oh, really?" and like tell his own followers, "You're a fucking idiot," in not so many words.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I know he like told his mom off one time, and I'm like,
really?
She's a fucking saint, bro.
Yeah.
Like, not per me, per many of your followers.
Yeah.
She has been canonized as a saint, and you are trash talking her.
Yeah.
Like, get your shit straight.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just, I can appreciate that as long as people keep it to themselves. I'm okay with some of that. Like, not like, I'm okay as long as I don't have to deal with it in my life, coming to my door, and in my laws, our laws. I shouldn't say the laws. Then I'm mostly okay with people, worshiping however they feel.
I always say you do you. I don't give a shit.
And I say mostly because there's some cults out there, and
there are some fucking
weird
cults.
shit going out.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got off on a tangent there, as always.
As always.
But that was Ezekiel chapter 48.
And the end of Easy Kyle sure as fuck was.
It sure was. That's it.
That's it
for Easy Kyle.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I said Easy Kyle.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You guys, we have finished another book of the Bible.
Yeah. You should right now stand up, and especially if you're in a public place, give yourself a round of applause, please.
Yeah.
And just chant sacrilegious discourse right there in the library or wherever you are currently listening to this, because that would be just fucking amazing.
But also, if you have been keeping up and, trying to follow along with us, even if you didn't start it when we started, but you binged to catch up or whatever.
Yeah.
If you have been with us the whole way, and you have actually finished this book, honestly, congrats on you. Not because, we're awesome or whatever, but, you have read a large portion of the Bible.
You have.
That's fucking awesome, y'all. You did good.
Yeah.
You did good.
Yeah, this is great.
We did good. You did good.
So that being said, we're gonna be back. Obviously, this is midway through the week.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting this episode on Wednesday, which means we still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to finish out this week.
So we did not plan this out ahead of time.
No, but
going the way we normally do it. So Thursday will be the Q&A for these 3 chapters, but also the summary
wrap up.
Yeah, the wrap up. That's the word I was looking for.
Right.
So it'll be a little bit lengthy because I won't separate those into 2 separate episodes.
Right, sure.
So I'll have a part 1 and part 2. Maybe we'll even take a break before. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how we'll split up the episode, but they will be in the same episode, and that'll be Thursday.
Okay.
And then Friday will be the "You're Always Wrong" contradictions
but I'm
pop quiz.
I'm always right though too.
No, that's not the name of the game. No.
I'm just saying.
No.
Okay.
And then on Saturday.
Yeah.
What are we going to do on Saturday?
Well, so I mean, we are woefully behind. I used that word twice tonight.
You did.
That's too much. That's too much to use woefully.
Tragically behind.
Yeah. So we don't have a book club out for a while.
Oh yeah, what if I do that?
We should do a book club.
We should do a book club on Saturday and then a Patreon on Sunday.
We're going to do both?
I mean, that's pretty
ambitious.
Ambitious. That's the word I was looking for.
So let's just say the best us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get that done. But knowing us on the weekends, we probably won't.
But so we will do at least a book club.
We're going to shoot for the moon and hopefully hit the the atmosphere.
I was gonna say like the top of the Empire State Building.
Right. Yeah. At least the top of our roof here.
Yeah.
That we can try to get that.
Don't forget minimal effort.
Yeah.
You know.
Just keep plugging away.
Just show up. Like. Oh yeah. What I was gonna say about that is like. I was doing this thing where I was walking every day, and I need to get back on that. But I was walking every day, and like I had it in my head for the longest time that I had to at least go this distance, right? Mm-hmm. And then I was like, that's making me not want to go. Like I already know ahead of time, I don't want to walk that far. Fuck that. Mm-hmm. And so then I wouldn't even go. So I, on purpose, instituted the just check the box minimal effort. And what that means is if I put my shoes on my feet and I go out front and I walk to the end corner, which is only like 3 houses down or whatever, right. That gets to count.
Sure.
Because that makes it super easy.
Right.
And then I would usually walk farther. But even if I didn't because it was raining or whatever, then I still got credit for it in my head. Like credit to the universe. Who's granting me these fucking points? I don't know.
Just doing the thing every day.
Yeah, just showing up. Minimal effort, show up. Check the box, you know? And that's what we're doing with the fucking Bible.
There you go.
See? I brought it back around.
Sure. All right. Well, that was Ezekiel chapter 48.
Sure as fuck was.
The end.
The end, bitch.
And again, we'll be back the coming days with the special episodes and all the things. So we will see you guys then.
Bye.